Thank you for watching Not My Bag.
If you're watching this, make sure to like and subscribe.
If you're listening, give a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. They drove off without... You tried to ditch George once.
No, please don't. It's going to give me...
This story, guys, I don't know if I've ever told this story, but we were at a service station coming back from Cornwall once again.
When George Michael had just
on
died.
the M4.
So you're 6 years ago.
Yeah, and George Michael had just died and I
How
was
old were you?
14, right? And I'm in the back. And
14?
Yeah. And I just...
He was like,
He was okay to leave?
no, he'd have been all right if he'd have gone that way. Continue.
Mum's tried it. Why are you holding your throat?
Because I'm just trying
Your
to...
turkey neck. Anyway, don't come for me, I'll come for you. Right, anyway, so I was 14 and we stopped off for this services and we'd all got a bit of food and we're sitting in the car and I literally go to mum and dad. Bear in mind, I had no phone.
You must have whispered that, though.
No,
you must have
I
gone,
didn't.
I'm
I
getting
didn't
out,
hear
because
you.
I didn't hear you
I
jumping
had
out.
no phone. My shoes weren't even on, and there was literally a bin 2 yards away. So I'm going to put my stuff in the bin, right? So I've jumped out. Bearing in mind, they're saying I must have whispered it. You'd hear a car door open, no?
No.
Why would
You hear them close, not open.
Yeah, okay,
I
didn't leave the door open, right? So I opened the door and closed it, and I went to put some rubbish in. And when Dad used to pick me up from school, I used to go get in the car and he used to drive off in front of all my mates and laugh and blah, blah. So I thought he was doing that. And then he gets a bit faster. Then I don't see the brakes. And then I'm running behind the car
I'm knee deep in the OK magazine.
I'm running behind the car like, Dad, you can stop now. And then all of a sudden I see the exit for the M4 and I'm going,
How did we stop?
I went, oh my God, there's George. I saw you waiting.
No, I came to the rear mirror and like just smash on it and then you guys broke and then you went and then they had a go at me for getting out of the car. What are you doing getting out of the car?
Do you know why? Because the panic that filled me. That's why I'm like this now, because it's awful. And I felt horrendous.
But it was a joke until I saw exit for M4 and Dad's indicator
Can
come
you
on
imagine?
and I thought,
I probably would have wet myself through fear of leaving you behind. But you were 14.
I think
I had no phone, no shoes,
I don't
no
know if
nothing.
this is an embarrassing story. It's quite horrific, really, but you're right.
I'm having a hot flush again.
Yeah, you sure? Yeah.
Shout out to menopause.
Shout out to menopause. I think George was really tiny, wasn't he? We were on the beach in Cornwall and you wanted a nap and you said to Dad,
No,
can you
I
look after
didn't feel
George?
very
You didn't
well.
feel well. You said, Dad, can you look after George? So George basically was...
I went into the tent.
He went into tent.
You sat there playing.
Yeah.
I think I know
I
this
was
story.
looking out to sea.
You took him to the water's edge in one of the most dangerous
And then George is
There
just...
happened to be a few young girls while I was looking out to sea. And that's it, really.
And George basically...
George was up to there, bobbing around, and then the next thing he was under.
And everyone on the beach...
But I didn't seem to
everyone on the
notice that.
beach is like, oh my God, there's a boy drowning, someone
I
help
heard this
him.
commotion, and I looked. I was in the tent. I'd put the zip up. I went, don't worry. You have a 20-minute power nap, I could see this swarm of people rushing, and it was you. And
Basically, Dad saw a pair of tits and I nearly drowned.
But he was on tippy toes. He didn't drown, did he? He was just there. And I knew he was going to be okay. Because I did beat that bird to the water's edge. And she was in front of me. And I beat her there and lifted him up. I went, no problem, love. And lifted him up. Carried him back. And then you went, oh,
Yeah,
you
almost
go
died.
I
because
ran
of a
to
pair
the
of tits.
toilet, right, and I couldn't get off that toilet for 10 minutes because I just...
The shock.
You were blue. And I've got that picture in my bedroom.
You also got a lot of funny mates, didn't you? Like Roy and Grant.
Oh my
that
God,
you got
Dad.
funny stories
What about
about.
the story about Grant all them years ago?
Oh, be careful what you say.
Oh, what have you done with him?
No, we used to go...
He used to look like Kurt Russell.
We don't know who
that
these
is.
people are, man. We're
Listen,
not
a
60.
mate of mine, right, we all used to go and buy cars up in Leeds and all that. But we needed someone back at the office. And they said, if you're back at the office, you've got to be really polite on the phone and all that. And me mate weren't that polite, right? So we're all up picking cars up. And I've jumped in this car and there's one of them brick mobile phones, right? And I thought, I wonder if I can get this to work. So I've pressed a few buttons, picked it up, and it started working. So I thought I'd ring Grant at the office, right?
Yeah.
And I know now he's got to be polite, right? So it's ringing and ringing. And as he's picked it up, I went, oi, oi, it's me, you wanker. And he went, pardon? I couldn't believe it. He went, pardon? I went, oh no. And from then on, we just done him all the
thought I was
time.
going to tell the
But
joke.
another time as well. You have to jump in whatever car you could, and it was like 3 hour drive home. So he's got the best car this time. I'm in some shitty car. Pulled in the petrol station. He's put the window down. He went, you mug. And as he's tried to put it back up, it wouldn't work. So now he's panicking like that, right? By the time we got back down to London, he's got his coat up there. All his face has gone. He went, all right. I went, all right. he couldn't do the window up. He's like dying. Oh, that was proper funny.
Yeah, that was like when you and Grant, the first Valentine's Day we were married, and I had the ump you because you didn't even really bother. You went, don't you worry, I'm going to bring you home something lovely later. And you thought you'd nip into the pub and have a drink, and the car broke down. So he was in there for 4 hours. I was like, where are you? He went, I'm going to have to tell you something when I come in.
No, that was before mobile phones and that. And I went, I'm going to be home in half an hour. Don't worry, I'll take you out and all that. We jump-started this car, and I thought, it's going to be all right. I went, Grant, quick, we'll stop at the pub. As we stopped at the pub, just cut out.
Didn't start again.
I've had to phone Mum up. She went, where are you? I went,
and I burst into tears. I thought,
I'm in the pub. Can you bring the jump leads? Oh,
how romantic.
I know, but he's always been like that. You know he's not very good at buying me presents.
What about Dad as well when Mum had a little accident at the bar? And
that was his fault.
She recreated Del Boy.
That was his fault.
No, this is when Mum... This is a funny story.
I was at her mate's 50th. And she done a Del Boy, do you know, on the bar.
Like when you slip and fall.
Yeah, because I crossed my legs over and I went to put my hand up, but my hand didn't reach the wall.
It was a free bar, and she went, you didn't stop giving me drinks. I went,
Joe, right, let me tell you something now. When I say it's a free bar, every time they had a shelf like that, every time I turned around, there was another drink. I must have drunk 2 bottles of wine in an hour and a half, right? He was going, go on, have another.
Sounds like a standard Saturday night to you, really.
No, maybe have 4 hours. So anyway, as I've got had heels on, I went to cross my legs over to put my hand, but the wall wasn't there.
And you just went straight through it.
And I literally went, don't you remember? And I woke up in the morning and Dad's come into me. And you know when you wake up and you can't remember, I looked down and I thought...
No, but didn't...
I was
chatting away. My mate Roy went, tell, look, she's fell over. She's mangled on the floor. And as she got up, she went to me, don't you laugh at me. Don't you laugh at me. I thought, I'm making sure you're all right. She went, don't you laugh at me.
He's going to me, everyone's looking, and he was doing something. I remember going to him, don't you laugh at me. And that's when I'd given up smoking. But Martin, his mate, come outside and he's talking to, and all I could see was this fag. As he's talking to me, I just took it out of his mouth and I went, oh. Right, and then, you know, when it goes to your head, and I ping-ponged all the way to the car. I was like, oh. In the morning, I was bruised, but we were crying, weren't we? It was funny.
You've had many nights like that. My favourite ever was the clairvoyant.
Oh, no. I was so nervous. See, this is what happens to me.
We were getting someone breaking in. They're banging of the head
funny.
against the door.
When I get nervous, obviously your adrenaline, and then you drink and it really goes through your bloodstream a lot quicker. Yeah. Went to the clairvoyant night, came out and hit the fresh air. And I remember ping-ponging. I fell into a...
She was talking to some spirits, but I know which ones. Vodka and gin.
No, you come up,
no,
right?
because I tried to get up the road and I couldn't see the top of the road.
She didn't have her keys, right? And all I can hear downstairs is...
I fell in a load of leaves.
And I'm looking out the door, right? And there ain't no one there. And I'm still hearing... And I've looked down and she's on her knees, headbutting.
Covered in leaves.
Do you know